Hi, my name is Yvonne C Manyanja. I'm going to talk to you about rising above mental pressure in leadership, which is a topic that we really need as people, which we really need as leaders, because we cannot run away from the fact that there are a lot of things happening around us. There are a lot of things that may cause us to suffer from different forms of pressure, and that may eventually cause us to be stressed out, to be depressed, to develop anxiety, and to even have such serious conditions as bipolar and schizophrenia. So I was doing a little research about what mental pressure is all about. So this is the definition that I got, and I feel it best describes what we are going to be talking about. So mental pressure is a form of stress that occurs because of how events in one's external or internal environment are perceived, resulting in psychological experience of distress and anxiety. Stress is a feeling of being under abnormal pressure. This pressure can come from different aspects of your life, such as increased workload, a transitional period, and an argument you may have with your family, or new and existing financial worries. You may find that it has cumulative effect, which each stressor building on top of another. First, you may experience many different feelings, including anxiety, I've mentioned earlier, irritability or low self-esteem, which can lead to becoming withdrawn, indecisive, and tearful. So, you may experience periods of constant worry, racing thoughts, or repeatedly go over the same things in your head. You may experience changes in your behavior. You may lose your temper more easily, act irrationally, or become more verbally or physically aggressive. So this feelings can feed on each other and produce physical symptoms, which can make you feel even worse. For example, extreme anxiety can make you feel so unwell that you even worry you have a serious physical condition. Every person goes through stressful experiences. That's a fact that we cannot run away from. But many fail to manage this and therefore succumb to distress and anxiety. Some of these experiences, if they are not controlled or checked, they may pose suicidal thoughts in one's life or cause conditions such as bipolar and schizophrenia. I think we need to be careful on how we manage such kind of pressures when we go through them. So leaders, for one, are the people who undergo through mental pressure and don't have many people who can help them, because many people are looking for their help. Be it you're a leader in which area, many say that you can realize your capacity as a leader by the challenges that you face. Yes, in as much as this statement can be true, I really believe it's a true statement, but you also need to keep check of your levels of pressure. You need to keep check of the levels of stress that you succumb to, because at the end of the day, you can become everybody's hero and then survive with these chronic illnesses that are caused by stress, that are caused by depression, that are caused by anxiety. So yes, being a visionary is the most difficult thing, because what you will be seeing and what you'll be on the ground may cause you to have mental pressure. Maybe it is the expectations that you're not being, that you're not meeting, or your goals that you may have failed to achieve within a set time. Because, each and every time when we start a year, or when we've got a vision that we want to achieve, we set certain goals, and we also set a certain period which we're supposed to achieve them. So these things actually cause us to go through serious mental pressure, and we also need to make sure that we keep in check of these things. There are activities that one can do to reduce any form of mental pressure, such as refreshing yourself. If you are a father, take time out with your family. Focus on how well your family is doing and share the laughters. There is magic. I believe there is magic that is attached to laughter. When you feel like breaking down, like an emotional stress that may have been caused by anything, reach out, talk to someone. If it is extreme, go and see a counselor and get help from there. I am of the view that here and there you need to get your emotion checked. There are people who are emotionally intelligent, who are able to turn the negative energy to work for the good. People who are able to give you a better worldview. Because in the world that we're living in, it's a fact that we'll always be surrounded by negative things. We'll always be surrounded by people who speak negatively in our lives. We'll be surrounded by negative outcomes, negative results. But it is the approach that we will use towards those negative energies that will help us to, to oversee all the obstacles that we may meet. And it will also help us to live a healthy life, because living a stressful life is really not something that you should wish for. So your life ought to be balanced. Check how your family is performing, how your work is performing, how your relationships are performing, and how your health, and also also you need to check your spiritual life. A lot of people think it's not crucial to constantly check your spiritual life, but your spiritual life is a gauge that will actually tell you if everything is moving in harmony in your life, and if you're not having any stressful thoughts. Because the moment you experience mental pressure, you begin to see that your spiritual life will be on the lowest, as well as your relationships. So being a leader comes with many responsibilities and expectations, but you also need to know that you are not living in this world alone. When you find that you are being overwhelmed, reach out for help from someone you trust. Learn to be a person that keeps people close, especially those who are willing to add value to you. If it's work pressure that is causing you to have mental pressure, you need to learn to source out. Let someone relieve you for the job you're doing. It's good to delegate at times. You don't have to be doing things all by yourself, because at the end of the day, you give yourself unnecessary mental pressure, which will result in your health deteriorating. It's better to give out money for the work to be done than to fork out thousands later because you have developed some sickness due to stress. Also, for you to be able to manage level stresses, you need also to check the things that you eat. Eat healthily. Eating healthily can reduce the risk of diet-related diseases. There's a growing amount of evidence showing how food affects our mood and how eating healthily can improve this. You can protect your feelings of well-being by ensuring that your diet provides adequate amounts of brain nutrients, such as essential vitamins and minerals, as well as water. Water has got a huge amount of oxygen, and oxygen is good for your brain. Sometimes we get stressed because our brains are not functioning well. So you need to check what you eat so that you won't, your body will always be sharp when it comes to making certain decisions. Your mind is always focused when it comes to making certain decisions. Be aware of smoking and drinking, please, 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 please. When you're stressed out, make sure that you don't resort to smoking and drinking. And as much as it may give you some form of relaxation, you feel like you've escaped away from your stressful moments, but this is so deteriorating to your body. And also when after the treatment is over, you even feel worse than you were stressed before. So let smoking and drinking not be like your resolution or your solution to dealing with stress. You also need to exercise. I know a lot of people think, we've got we've got a busy schedule, you cannot find time to exercise. But make it a habit that maybe early in the morning, around 5:30 or 6 o'clock, you go to the gym and you exercise a little bit, and then you go to work, so that at least your mind will be sharp and your whole body will be active. Or if you can't be able to exercise before your day starts, at least try to squeeze after you finish work. After working, like around past 5 after work, then you can just visit the gym and do some workouts. take a bath, and then find time to relax. It's really important, it's really important to do some exercises. I'll say that you need to take time out, take time to relax. Strike a balance between responsibility to others and responsibility to yourself. This can reduce stress levels. In as much as you love, serving other people, you also need to prioritize self-care, because you need it. You really need it. If it means you need time out, take time out. It's really important for good mental health. Be mindful, take time to meditate. Meditation is something that is really crucial in every lady's life, because it is meditation that will help you to develop a peaceful mind, and it is meditation that will also make you to think outside the box. And it is in meditating where you're able to find certain solutions that you never thought of before. Because when your mind is really cluttered, when your mind has got a lot of things that you're thinking of, it needs some time, to be silent. You need to find a moment where you're just on your own and you're quiet and you're thinking of how best you can approach a certain situation, and you also get to indulge yourself in a positive way of thinking. So it's really important to meditate, and as well as it's important to get some sleep. I know a lot of leaders think that for you to be a great leader, you need to have a lot of hours, working on your goals and working on what you need to achieve. Yes, it's good to work on your goals, but at the same time, you need to rest. Your mind needs to rest, because the moment you strain your mind, then it won't work to its full potential. It won't work to its full capacity, and you end up getting stressed because the things are not adding up, and yet you don't know that it's because you're straining your mind, so you're not thinking of the best possible solutions to your problems. Don't be hard on yourself. You don't have to be hard on yourself. You need to understand that disappointments do come. In as much as you may have set certain priorities or certain goals, you need to keep, things in perspective. Remember that having a bad day is a universal human experience. So when your inner critique or any outer critique finds faults in you, try and find truth and exception to what is being said. If you stumble or feel you have failed, don't beat yourself up. Act as if you were your own best friend. Be kind and supportive to yourself. Tell yourself each and every morning that you can do it. Assure yourself that you can do it, that nothing can stop you from doing what you have set your mind to do. So support yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't feel like you're not doing enough. The effort that you're putting, if you know that you're putting 100%, then be content with that. The results will eventually come. So here it is. I think I've tried to explain the importance of rising above mental pressure, because these are the things that every leader every leader is going through a stressful experience. But because you feel like you're a leader, you've got this pride, and you feel, I cannot share with my colleagues that I'm going through a tough time, I'm going through stress or something like that. That's why you get to hear that a lot of leaders develop these suicidal thoughts, because what they were expecting and what has happened is not matching up. So it's good to talk, it's good to share with other people, and it's good to keep things in perspective. It's good to have time to refresh yourself, because you really need that. I think that's it. Till we meet